welcome to another Technology Paul video. This one is more of a how-to, and I'm going to get right into it. How to reset your MacBook or your Mac before you sell it to someone else. You really don't want to just take it, and hand it to them at that point, give them the password, that type of thing. You want to reset it properly so that you don't have any kind of issues with them having access to your data or something like that down the line. So I happen to be selling the 2015 MacBook Air here, so I'm going to show you how to actually do that as well. So it all starts with a help article that Apple actually has online, and I'll link to that in the description below. What to do before you sell, give away, or trade in your Mac. And so it's a step-by-step guide here. So let's go through the steps together. The first one is create a backup, and that's huge. Now, if you're like me, you have probably a lot of stuff online already. I have a lot of things on iCloud Drive right now, as well as Google Photos, iCloud Photos, that type of thing. And so when it comes down to it, there's actually very little I keep on the local Mac itself. But if you aren't doing that, if you have a lot of stuff on your hard drive, you want to make sure you create a backup. The best way that you can do that is through a program called Time Machine. And Apple has it built into the Mac itself. You just have to plug in an external hard drive, load up a program on your Mac. It's already there. It's called Time Machine. And from there you can run a backup. It'll walk you through the process. It's very, very easy to do. But the other option is if you just have a few files, what you can do is just simply plug in an external drive or a thumb drive and drag that over to the thumb drive as well. So you have a couple options here, but make sure you back up your data, right? And if you're not sure if you have it stored somewhere else, better safe than sorry. Just put it on an external drive before you go through this resetting process. So the next part is they recommend you sign out of iTunes, but that's in macOS, Mojave, or earlier. So if you're running Catalina, for example, you don't have to do that. That's going to be part of the sign out process on iCloud. But if you're running macOS, Mojave, or earlier, then you do want to sign out of iTunes. The third step is to sign out of iCloud. So you want to do that by going to System Preferences and then going to iCloud and then selecting Sign Out as the option. And you may be asked if you want to keep a copy of certain data on your Mac. You can do that because you'll be erasing that later on. You're just essentially getting rid of the associated Apple ID with this MacBook. Step 4 is to sign out of iMessage. So if you're an iMessage user, of course you want to discontinue sending iMessages to this computer as well. So you're going to sign out of iMessage. Step 5 is to reset the NVRAM. Okay, and really what this is just a quick little hack. What you do is you turn on your Mac from shutdown, you shut it down, then you turn it on again, and then you'll press all of these 4 keys together: Option, Command, P, and R. You'll hold that down for about 20 seconds before you release it. And this will actually clear a lot of user settings from your memory, and it restores certain security features that might have been altered as well. So you want to clear all that stuff from the RAM, any kind of user settings, that type of thing, is to reset the NVRAM. The 6th thing here that they mention is to disconnect any Bluetooth devices that you're going to be keeping, right? Which is very important. If you have an external mouse or keyboard or AirPods or whatever, you can disconnect those from your computer as well so that you can reconnect them to a new Mac. The last thing, and really the most important thing here, is to erase your hard drive and reinstall macOS. Now, the trick to doing this is you want to go into what's called recovery mode. And so to do that, you want to restart your Mac again, and then right after you hit power, go ahead and hit the Command and R buttons and hold those down until you see the Apple logo. Once you see the Apple logo, you can release the keys, and it's going to take you into a special Apple recovery mode. And from there, you're going to open up a program called Disk Utility. You're going to select the Macintosh hard drive in the sidebar of Disk Utility, and you're going to click the erase button in the toolbar. It's going to erase it, and it's going to offer to create a new virtual drive, essentially. It's going to ask you what you want to name it, so you can still call it Macintosh HD if you like, or enter a different name. It's going to offer you to use a file format called APFS, which is Apple File System, and I recommend you just stick with that. Use APFS. It's their newest file system, and it's the most secure and fastest file system. So just use that and go ahead and do that, and then just hit erase and you're good. That's basically it. After the erase is done, you're going to quit Disk Utility, and you'll return to like the main utilities window in this recovery mode. Then you want to choose the option that says reinstall macOS, and it will walk you through the process of reinstalling Macintosh OS. Very, very easy. It's going to take about half an hour, 45 minutes, but that's the entire process. So you've gone through the steps, you've erased the computer, and you've reinstalled Macintosh OS. At that point, you can go ahead and hand it off to the person who came to purchase it. Now, one little thing that I like to mention is if you just leave it in that setup mode right before it actually gets set up, it can be hard to convince someone. If they're coming to look at your computer, it can be hard to convince them it works perfectly if it's just stuck in setup mode, right? So what you can do is you can go through the setup steps and just set up the computer as a brand new computer, except for when it asks you to sign into iCloud, don't do it, right? Just go ahead and say skip this, or it says set up later is the option. That's what you want to click, because it'll load up the computer interface and the desktop and everything like that. Just won't have any of your information tied to it, but that is allowing you to show off the computer and show that it in fact does work perfectly. So that's it. That's all the steps to sort of reset and erase your current Mac and get it ready to sell or trade or give away or whatever you're doing with it. So I'll share the link again in the description for the help article on how to do that as well. So hopefully this video was useful for you. If so, do me a favor and just click that like button down below. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.